Hey guys, I'm just going to pop in here real quick and say that this is the 5th video in the Man of Darkness Beginning to End series, and this one covers Edit 5 in its entirety, which is a different font edit. But if you haven't seen the previous 4 videos, which cover the rewrite, Edit 1, Edit 1.5, and all the way up through Edit 4, you can find them all in the description below, as well as the playlist linked below, and the playlist link should pop up in the upper right hand corner on that little eye. But outside of that, this video, again, will cover Edit 5, and I hope you guys enjoy. Hey guys, it is currently 7:23, yes, p.m. on the 30th of July, and I have just started Edit 5 of Man of Darkness. Edit 5 is a different font read-through edit, which is when I change the font from Times New Roman to something else. At the moment it is, I believe it's pronounced Pacifico, but I can't be 100% sure. Basically, the only goal is to change it to a font that you are not used to reading. For me, I am used to reading Times New Roman. That is what I do everything in. I do my research in that, I do my writing in that, I do my outlines and everything like that in Times New Roman. So anything that's different than that works great. Pacifico is like a bolded cursive font, so that's what I use currently for this edit. It might change between books, it might change between drafts, whatever, but that is what it's set at right now. Today I'm only editing the prologue because I have already edited like 7 chapters of a different book, so I just don't want to add any more editing to the day. But the prologue is 296 words, which I just finished, so that is what this one is here. That's Man of Darkness. And otherwise, as per usual, there are 20 chapters, a prologue, and an epilogue. I'm planning on finishing it within like a week or two, and then we'll take another break and move on to Edit 6, but that is all that I have for this very moment. I'm going to get into some writing, and then I will see you guys with an update the next time I get to Man of Darkness, which hopefully will be tomorrow. Hey guys, it is currently 9:13 p.m. on July 31st, and it is day 2 of Edit 5 of Man of Darkness. And I just finished editing chapter 1 not super long ago, and that was 1,499 words, and I made 2 corrections. Again, I'm doing the suggest edits thing so I can keep track of how many suggestions are being made so I can give you updates periodically throughout. I would edit more chapters, but because I was also editing another book, that has been 14,539 words edited today, so I'm pretty much just a little tired out on editing. So that's all the editing I'm going to do. That's more or less all the writing I'm going to do today as well. So I should be editing again tomorrow with Man of Darkness, and I will see you with another update, hopefully, then. Hey guys, it is currently 3:52 in the morning on August 3rd, and I just finally got around to working on Edit 5 of Man of Darkness again. I edited chapters 2 and 3, which ended up being 3,782 words. I made 22 corrections today, which brought me up to 24, and they aren't so much corrections as they are additions, I suppose. They're not like correcting misspellings or typos or incorrect punctuation or anything like that. Today I've pretty much just been adding descriptions and sentences. I've been very hungry all morning, and this is currently the period of time where I can't eat or drink anything except for water for like 3 hours. I just took my thyroid medication, so I'll be able to finally have my coffee and get something to eat in a little under an hour now at this point. But because I can't eat right now, I'm absolutely starving compared to this time normally in the morning. And because of that, I was reading out loud in hopes of distracting my brain from that. So while reading, sometimes at the end of a sentence or even in the middle of a sentence, I would just randomly change something or randomly add something, generally add. So anytime that happened, I added it because if it sounded better out loud. Sorry for that random cut, my iPad stopped recording. I think it was running out of storage space, but I deleted some of my videos that were stored in the recently deleted section, so we should be good, I hope. But basically I was adding things because if it sounded better out loud, or if I interjected it out loud, I assumed that it would sound better in the book as well, in just plain text format. but when I do the later edits and I'm not reading out loud, if it doesn't sound as good or it doesn't read as well, I'll remove it again. But things are going well. I'm still happy with the way the book is progressing. I'm still happy with everything that I'm adding. And as it stands, we are still on track for an October 29th release. So that's great. But I'm taking a break here for the morning, and then I'm going to come back in a little bit. I'll come back to writing rather than editing because I've met my 2-chapter goal for the day, so that's something. But I'm going to take a break, and then hopefully I will get back around to editing tomorrow, in which case I will see you tomorrow for an update, or very late in the day or morning or whatever. But regardless, if I work on it again tomorrow, I'll see you then, and if not, I'll just see you the next time I work on it. Hey guys, it is currently 4:28 in the morning on August 6th, and I have just finally gotten back around to working on Man of Darkness. I edited chapters 4 and 5 this morning, which was 4,754 words. There you go. And today, according to the Google Docs on my tablet, I made 23 corrections today, which brings my total for corrections this edit so far to 47. It doesn't really seem like I've made that many changes, but again, I've been reading it out loud every now and then, and any time that I say something that just naturally comes out, when I'm reading dialogue, I add it, and again, when I'm reading later on in the later edits, if I decide that it doesn't fit there as well in the normal, like, reading text form, I'll remove it, but, you know, seeing what happens. But things are going well. I'm still very happy with it. I've corrected one of the major errors that I flagged in Edit 4, where the door in Miles's office opened to the outside hallway, even though there would be no door because his office is upstairs and he's in hell. He doesn't have an outdoor balcony on his second floor. So I've changed that to the windows being flung open in that room, and things definitely flow better in consistency for that particular section. So I think there's one more big consistency error that I flagged in the notes for Edit 4, so I'll be fixing that eventually. And then there's a potential that there are other consistency errors that I'll pick out through by checking the notes as I go through the edit. But again, things are going well. I am happy with the way things are going. I'm very happy with the characters. I'm happy with the scenes and just about everything that's going on right now, which is great. So, at this point in the morning, I'm moving on to video editing and then back to writing, but I am planning on cycling through as many of my books today as possible, and I have an order that I go in on here. Not that button. On here, everything is in the order that I go in, so this is the next book that I'm going to work on, and then work my way back through. So if I get through all of those, I will be editing Man of Darkness again today. So if that's the case, I will see you again with a discussion later on today, and if not, I will just see you probably tomorrow with another update on progress. But I'm trying to edit at least 2 chapters a day, which I succeeded in today. So regardless, I will see you again at some point. Hey guys, it is currently 9:01 in the morning on August 9th, which is a Friday, and I have just finished editing chapters 6 and 7 of Man of Darkness, Edit 5, and that came out to 2,548 words. Chapter 6 was on the shorter side. It was only like 700 and something words. I feel like that's a little bit darker than it should be. There you go. Thank you. But so far, I have made 62 changes to the document in total. I started with 47 words today. I believe that is 15 changes so far today. I would like to get at least 2 more chapters edited before I move back onto writing, but it is, again, a little after 9 in the morning, and I go to bed at 9:30, so I need to get ready for bed, and then hopefully fall asleep in a timely manner. I have a doctor's appointment at 3:30, so I wake up at 2:30 normally. Still going to do that today. And then I will be in town at a doctor's appointment for a blood test. But I'm going to make sure Man of Darkness is updated on my phone, and I'm going to do some editing on the car ride over, hopefully, and on the car ride back, and presumably in the waiting room. if I am in the waiting room for a long period of time. Probably won't be. It's just a blood test today, so unless there are a ton of people getting their blood tested at exactly the same time, it should pretty much just be I check in and then bam. But we'll see. So, with that, if I have to make any changes to like quotation marks or apostrophes, they'll look weird and I'll have to fix them later, but that's okay. I still have at least 3 more edits to do on this book, so I can always catch them and edit them there, and the ones that I don't catch or edit out, I can always change in Microsoft Word much easier than I can in Google Docs. Unless Google Docs has updated since the last time I tried it, you can't mass change them and have them be correct. The last time I tried it, the apostrophes would be facing the wrong way on certain words, and the quotation marks would all be facing the same way rather than the correct way. But if you do it on Microsoft Word, it fits in the way it's supposed to. So, either way, by the end, they'll all be corrected, to say the least, even if I have to change them while I'm gone and on my phone. But I will say that progress is slow on edits today because I have a doctor's appointment. My anxiety is running very high, so it took forever to get through these 2 chapters, but I did it, and I'm hoping that the next 2 chapters I will also be able to get through today. It will probably be slow. I will probably almost get carsick, but, you know, dealing, and I'm hoping that Man of Darkness and having something to do actually takes my mind off of the anxiety related to a doctor's office and a blood test and all that fun stuff. But regardless, I will be sure to give you guys an update sometime after I get home. I don't know if I will successfully finish editing both chapters when I'm gone, but if I do, you will have an update very shortly after I get home, and if not, you will have an update after I have both chapters edited. But that is all I have for right now. I'm going to go get ready for bed, and I will see you guys hopefully at some point in the later afternoon hours rather than the evening, but if all else fails, I'll see you either in the evening, the afternoon, or sometime after midnight. Alrighty, it is 5:17 p.m., and I just finished editing Chapter 9 of Man of Darkness, so I edited Chapters 6, 7, 8, and 9, which means that I have met my goal for the day, which is something. That ended up being 6,248 words edited today for Man of Darkness. And change-wise, I exited out of Google Docs already, so give me just a second to tell you how many changes I made through the day. I also got some editing done while I was in town, which is great. Made things go a little bit faster when I got home. I edited all of Chapter 8 while I was gone, and then I had to pick up with Chapter 9 when I got back here. I have made 71 changes total, which means that today I made 24 changes. So, there's that. My dog is completely sacked out over there, so you can probably hear her snoring. But things are still going very well. I'm still very happy with how things are going. Very happy with the fleshing out of the dialogue and the narration. That's pretty much what happens when I read it out loud. So I'm very pleased with how this edit is going so far. At this point, I'm done editing for the day. I'm going to go do bird chores and then move back on to writing. And we'll see how things go from there. But I don't know if I'll get around to editing tomorrow. Kind of depends on how writing goes and how things circle around tomorrow. But regardless, I will see you guys with another update the next time that I get back around to Man of Darkness. Hey guys, it is currently 9:23 in the morning on Wednesday, August 21st. And I have, I think, 3 things to apologize for before I begin. 1, I apologize for the fan. I'm running a fever, which takes us into number 2. I'm sick. I have a sinus headache. I've had it for like the past 2 to 3 days. I still sound very congested in my head, but I don't know what I sound like out loud, so if you can hear it, I apologize. This is a first for you. It's been in my work in progress videos so far this week, but this is a first for you guys. And 3, I apologize so very deeply for how long it has taken me to update you on Edit 5, but here we are. I finished it on August 16th? Yeah. And I'm literally starting Edit 6 on Friday, so my bad.
to say the least. So, to get into things, I just have stuff written down on my sticky note here, and while I go through some stuff, I'm going to bring up the Man of Darkness Google Docs. So before I get into that, it's worth noting that I have not gone through and accepted the suggestions that I made during Edit 5, because I wanted to make sure that I got around to telling you guys about it before I started accepting the suggestions. So I also don't have a total count for the end of the document yet, so I haven't gone through and written down this, where I put how many words I changed throughout. So, oops, hold on. So I ended up with 129 suggestions altogether, which would be 129 corrections. But Man of Darkness Edit 5, as per usual, it's a prologue and epilogue in 20 chapters. On August 12th, I made 17 corrections. On August 14th, I made 30 corrections, and on August 10th, oh shoot, no, yeah, August 16th, I think. There's no like little, there's no circle there on my 6, but I think it's a 6. I don't know. It's a something. Whatever day it was, I made 11 corrections that time, and that put me at the 129. At the moment, it is also still sitting in its different font instead of Times New Roman, but that's because I wanted to make sure that I remembered to film this video before I started Edit 6. But overall, Edit 5 went very well, I think. Still very happy with the way the book is going. I'm still very happy with the characters. I'm happy with the extra descriptions and dialogues that have occurred during Edit 5 when I was reading it out loud and stuff like that. Very pleased with all of it so far. I fixed a couple continuity errors. It's a word. It starts with a C. I don't know how the hell to say it, but I think you get the memo. But I fixed a few of those. Consistency is a different way to phrase it. I fixed a few consistency errors, and there's probably still more that I need to check. Most of the time that I was doing Edit 5, I didn't have my notebook or my binder back here, which was stupid on my part, but that's okay. I have more edits to go through. Edit 6 is a Grammarly edit, so that one I'm pretty much expecting to have done in 2 to 4 days, depending on how things run, because I'll be starting it on Friday, which means that day 1 will be back here, but Saturday most likely will be in the living room. So it kind of just depends on how many chapters I feel like copying and pasting on my tablet, and how my tablet is running that day and how the internet's running back there. Because I don't get a big internet connection on my tablet while I'm in the living room. It's too far away from the router and the modem and all that fun jazz. But I'm going to go through here and make the suggested corrections on this document, and once I do that, I will get back to you on a word count. But overall, very happy with Edit 5, and I'm also going to cough while I'm doing this, and then I will see you guys with another update here in a few on a final word count. Alrighty, so it is 9:45 in the morning, and before I get into all of that fun stuff, I'm going to go ahead and finally change this font back to Times New Roman, and since I'm expecting that to take a moment, I'm going to do it at the beginning here. So I ended up with 32,880 words for this edit, and that ended up being an extra 533 words from what I ended up with Edit 4. And all of my chapters, as far as I can tell, except for Edit 2, have been additions of words, which I think is a good thing in the case of this book. It needed help in some places, especially since it started in present tense, but I'm very happy with the way things have gone. So I went ahead and, as per usual, wrote down which edit it was, how many words, and then the things that I did specifically in this edit. So for this one, I jotted down added descriptions, expanded dialogue, fixed and clarified scene descriptions, and fixed consistency errors. With the scene description one, I found another scene where I can't say anything about it because it's definitely a spoiler. But to say the least, there's screaming in that scene, but it was still written like present tense, and both like it was present tense and like it was, I don't even know how to explain it. It didn't sound like the people in the room were screaming. It sounded like it was like in Miles's head or something. The way that it was written was weird, to say the least. But it's been added to the page here with all of the others, and the next edit, edit 6, will go on the back of that page here. So, hooray, we're making progress, and everything has updated over here. And we are back at Times New Roman. Hooray! My phone is glitched at the moment, but pretend that it's not. Pretend that the keyboard isn't stuck here, even though Google Docs is not open to editing at the moment. But, you know, that's just how my phone rolls. But, everything is saved, everything is switched back over, everything is finally written down here. Progress has been made. So at this point, I'm pretty much just going to wrap up and go to bed, and then hopefully I will see you guys on Friday.